Hi, in this video we'll show you how to use the file copy GPO. In my environment, I have all my Unix servers going to the servers OU on their Unix. So typically you want to make sure that you set the GPOs based on your GPO design. So mine is basically bound here in this Unix settings GPO. I'm going to go ahead and right click and edit that GPO, and let's go ahead and scroll down all the way to the Centrify settings and under computer configuration. And when you click on Common Unix settings, you will see the file copy GPO. So I'm going to make something very simple, and it's all I'm going to do is going to enable it. I'm going to just pick a file. I'm just going to create it right there and then. I happen to be working with Jerry, who's a domain administrator. You need to plan for this. If you want to add a file in here, you need to have the proper rights. So I'm going to just create a text document here, my file of txt, and let's add some content to it. This is my file, and I'm going to go ahead and save it, and I'm going to pick that file. The destination for the file is going to be, for me, actually that's the source. So pick up the file. The destination is going to be etc my file. I could manipulate if I want to, if I want to keep the permissions, or if I want to specify different permissions, or I can change the UID or GID of the owner. I can also change the format of the file. In this case, I'm going to just copy it as an ASCII file. So now go ahead and press OK. And OK. So now I'm going to go to one of my Linux systems here. And let's go ahead and pick up, I don't know, SuSe 1. I'm going to go ahead and log in as George. So the prerequisites for GPO processing are A, that you have proper communication with Active Directory. So if you don't know how, if you have proper communication with Active Directory, all you need to do is run adcheck against your domain. And when I talk about proper communication, I'm talking about the ability to connect to a shift share. So the sysvol is a public share. Authenticated users should be able to get into it. So the Centrify agent is going to use the computer account to authenticate against it. But if the ports are not open to communicate via SMB CIFS, then that's not going to work. And I'm going to go ahead and do, has it been? Right. So let's take a look at adcheck here. And notice that adcheck is going to say, hey, I can connect to, ADDC, ADDNS. So I have the ability to do that. Another thing that is important is Perl. So Perl is needed for group policy processing. I think 5.8 is what's needed at this point. So it seems everything is going to be fine. And group policies either are processed every 90 minutes if enabled, or randomized, that's the defaults, or whatever is GPO is in the domain. But I'm not going to wait 90 minutes. I'm just going to run the adgpupdate command, and that's going to refresh the computer policy. And what that does is it just goes out to the sysvol in this case, grabs the files, and copies in the destination. So if I go to the etc folder, and then there you go, there's my file right there. If I view what's in the file, so that's my file. If I, by any chance, edit the file and I add information to it. So think about this as a configuration file. Maybe somebody goes out and modifies that, but you want a standardized configuration. I'm going to go ahead and add some information to it. So we just said O at the end, right? So now my file looks completely different. Actually, I can do it. So I'm going to probably have to elevate because of the permissions. So let's do it this way, DZ do. So I'm elevating, and I should be able to run that as root, so now this file is not going to complain. So if I view the file now, the file has more information. But let's just say this was a configuration file that is broken. Maybe I want this to be enforced, so when the next GPO update is run, here's what's going to happen. It's going to grab the file again, it's going to overwrite it, and the file is going to go back to what it was before. And that's the demo of the copy file GPO. Hope it helps.